I bought a couple of guitars at the show that have a common thread between them. We've done this before, and some of you who have been here longer than others will probably remember and might be bored. Sorry. But some of you may not know this, so I think it could be an educational and fun thing to learn. Everybody look at the camera and smile.
It's a video, so just like...
Oh, it's a video? It's really embarrassing. Can anybody tell me, not you, and not you, and not you, and maybe not anybody who knows the answer. Wait, that doesn't work. Can anybody tell me what these three guitars have in common? And yes, there's a lot of things in common, so let's get it out of the way. They're all guitars, they all have necks, they all have two. No. Okay, this is a semi-hollow, hollow, hollow. Other guesses? Don't say it, because you know the answer. Let me give you another clue. Can you grab a Rick? Maybe this is going to make it even harder, or maybe easier. You know, don't you? Huh? They're all made out of wood. Good, Roland. Roland is our synth guy. Thank you. Now a little curveball or maybe some help. This guitar, this guitar has the same thing in common with.
All from the 70s? I just can't remember the person's name.
They're designed by the same person. What's the person's name?
Mosley.
No, that's a really good guess. His name is Roger. First name is Roger. So I think his last name is pronounced Rossmeisl, but I've heard it said Rossmeisl without pronouncing the S, but I think it's Roger Rossmeisl. He designed that long before these, but eventually he moved to Fender and designed these guitars, and also the Kingman. You know those funky acoustics that Fender makes that are bolt-ons and have that kind of aluminum bar on the inside? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. He designed those as well. So these three guitars were made by the same guy, which is pretty interesting to think about because originally he designed that. And if you look at all of these guitars, you can see a pattern here. I mean, he very clearly has a style. They all have this thing, right? Of some kind. If you look at the binding work on this and on some of the Ricks, there's definitely parallels there. But yeah, so will you guys remember that name? I doubt it, but that's okay.
Say it again. Rossmeisl. Rossmeisl.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Roger Rossmeisl. It'll be on the quiz. You have to spell it right. Okay, so couple interesting facts about these guitars. By the way, this guitar unfortunately doesn't have strings. I wish it did because it's an incredible instrument. It is so light. And not all of these are light because these do have a center block. They're not fully hollow, as you all know. But this guitar has been refretted, but everything else is original. So it's a killer playing guitar and it is incredibly light, awesome sounding pickups. So once it's strung up, I think you guys will be able to sell this very quickly. What year was this introduced?
70s.
Okay, so you're not wrong. This version was introduced in 72. One thing that some people think that, so these guitars when they first came out, when they first came out, they were available in mahogany and also in ash, the majority being in ash. Some people think that those guitars were only available in the single coil version. By the way, what happened in 72 on this guitar? What changed?
Wide ranges?
Correct. So it moved to wide ranges in 72. And some people think that by 72 they phased out the mahogany body thing, but that's not true. There are some with wide ranges that do have a mahogany body. It's rare, but you can find them.
The coupe magnets?
Yes. Yeah, the magnets in these are very special, and I don't know if they're used in any other guitar pickups. It's kind of a Fender. They brought him back now. Yeah. Does anybody know who designed these pickups? Good guess. Huh? Seth Lover, which is an interesting, another connection between across his brands. You all, of course, know that Seth Lover helped design the original, well, the Gibson humbucker. And he also helped design these wide ranges. So yeah, came out in '69, available mahogany and ash. 72, switched to these pickups. This one that we just bought at the Orlando show is awesome, so make sure to spend some time with it. Now, these two are slightly different from each other. They're both Coronado 2s. But obviously this one is a wildwood and this one is not. They actually injected dye into live beechwood trees before harvesting them. And then, so they would cut the tree after it like sucked in all the dye and was like, and they cut it, and then they, for the laminate, because these are all laminate guitars, it's not solid woods obviously, and for the laminates on all sides, show them the back. This is all dye that was running through the tree while it was alive. Yeah, it truly is insane. Seems wrong. This was not injected with sunburst while the tree was still alive. This was sprayed with paint. But one interesting thing to note is that because they injected beechwood trees to accomplish this, the laminate, the outer laminate for these guitars is beechwood, whereas this is maple. And the beechwood can be very inconsistent in terms of figuring and in terms of how it sucks in the dye. Thank you. This one is really cool. If you get close to it, it's got like spalted marks everywhere, and it just looks really cool. It's one of the coolest wildwoods we've ever had. This is just one of the cleanest sunburst ones I've ever seen, so I had to buy it. It's ridiculously clean. Also a great playing guitar. And by the way, these trims are some of my favorite trims ever. If you have not spent some time with this trim, I'd recommend that you do. It works flawlessly. Amazing.